Wheel and axle. A wheel and axle is made of a wheel and axle joined together. To be a simple machine, these parts must join together. If you turn the wheel, the axle moves. One of the most common examples of a wheel and axle is a doorknob. Wheel and axles help us by moving and lifting certain objects.
If you move the axle, the wheel moves a greater distance. Another example of a wheel and axle is a Ferris wheel. A fishing rod uses a wheel and axle for its reel. The crank acts as a wheel. The axle is the post that the crank attaches to.
Okay. A screwdriver is also a wheel and axle. The metal is the wheel. The metal blade is the axle. The end of the blade fits into the top of the screw. A faucet is a wheel. A faucet is a wheel and axle. When you turn the handle, the axle moves. The skates help you move from one place to another. The wagon is another example of a wheel and axle. The wheels move. Okay. I hope you enjoyed learning about wheel and axle. Wedges. There are many types of simple machines, but for our project we chose our favorite, the wedge.
Wedges are used to cut or split things such as a tree or food. You can use it to chop steak. You can also use it to chop many types of hard fish. You can also use them to cut difficult objects to cut. Like sometimes it would be hard. To cut even things. Like scissors help cut a piece of paper.
If you were in the woods and you had to cut down a tree, do you know what to do if you didn't have an axe? Well, here's what you should do. You should take a wedge and place it on a crack or a solid area of the piece of wood. And then take a hammer and carefully hit the thick edge of the wedge. And then the wood will cut down or split.
A boat drives faster by having the tip of the boat splitting the water, and the tip of the boat is a wedge. Now here I have a picture of a door wedge, which you put inside of a door. You put on the edge of a door, so it holds open the door, so you can bring things in and out without having somebody opening the door.
Here is a picture of an axe, and it helps us cut down trees, or you can use a wedge like I explained before.
These are many types of kitchen knives. They are used to cut foods like I was talking about earlier, steak and tough fish to cut. Here I drew a small picture of a person cutting bread.
Wedges. About pulleys, and a pulley is a wheel with a line around it, and this is an example of a pulley. It's a well. This picture of a well supports a pulley since it's related to a pulley. And did you know this? A pulley can be used in many ways, in wells and in flat pools. And then this picture is a crane, and a crane has a pulley that can lift big machineries and heavy objects, just like cars, motorcycles, and boats. And this is fast facts about pulleys. And this pulley, there is a fixed point on a pulley in the middle. And a pulley is a simple machine.
and a pulley also turns on its axle or a post. This is a picture of a flagpole, and you see these ropes coming down, and this is the pulley, and when you pull on one end, the other end goes up or down. And then this is pulley number 1. That pulley number 2.
It is a window curtain, and a pulley's right there, and the pulley is used to open or close so you can see the light or not.
And this is a picture of a crane like this one, and this is the hook, and that's the pulley. This picture is a crane. A crane used to pick up heavy objects, and that's pulley number 3. And we did an American flag in the middle since it's an example of a flagpole, and that's the pulley.
And then we sort of drew like a pulley looking up a box.
Yeah, and then we colored these red, white, and blue, so it's related to the flag.
It's awesome.
Levers. A lever is a bar that pivots a fixed point. The fixed point on a lever is called a fulcrum. The object being moved is called the load. The push or pull on a lever is called the force. One type of simple machine is the snow shovel. The snow shovel acts as a lever when the hand in the middle is a fulcrum. When the hand on top is the force, and the snow that's being moved is the load. The snow shovel helps us move snow. The crowbar is one of our last types of levers. Crowbars help you pry pins from the nails from the wood, and a crowbar works when the hands you are pushing down on act as a force. The hand in the middle is the fulcrum. And the nail is the load. Another example of a lever is the seesaw. The seesaw, you can use the seesaw to do work or just play on it. A seesaw works when the person that is pushing down acts as the force. When the spring or the triangle in the middle acts as the fulcrum, and the person on the other end that is being lifted acts as the load. And here's some other examples of levers. Levers, help you with so many things. Levers, useful for almost anything. The seesaw, crowbar, broom, shovel, and hockey stick. Levers, help you with so many things. Levers, useful for almost anything. Incline plane. Here we have a suitcase going down a conveyor belt, and a conveyor belt is actually an inclined plane, and an inclined plane is a slanted surface, and a staircase is an inclined plane, if you guys didn't know that. This picture is of a fireman climbing up a ladder. The ladder is an example of an inclined plane, and the fireman is the load, which is climbing up and down it. If we didn't have the ladder, it would be probably difficult to get to the top. This is a picture of a man pushing a piece of furniture using in the inclined plane, and he's pushing it to the truck, and if he didn't have it, then he wouldn't put it to the truck.
As you can see, this is a picture of a boy sliding down a slide, and if there was only a ladder, he would climb up and fall down and hurt himself. Inclined planes are used for so many useful things. You can go to a park, you can fly down the slide, pushing a heavy object into a truck. You can also climb up a ladder to get to a higher place. Before going on a plane, push your suitcase on a conveyor belt. Inclined planes are used for so many useful things. Inclined planes!
A poster about screws. Learning about screws is very interesting. A screw is a post with spiral threads around it. A screw helps us do work by holding things together. A screw uses an inclined plane wrapped around a bar called a shaft. The threads on the screw prevent the screw from falling out. The spiral design of the screw allows us to continue cutting deeper and deeper. Many big machines are held together with screws. The screw must be put in very tightly so that what they are holding does not fall out. Force is applied to push the pointed end of the screw into the material it is cutting. Now that you've learned about screws, you probably think they're cool too.
This is a hand drill. You put your hand on top of it and spin it. The screw at the bottom is usually used to dig into wood, so later you can put a screw through it to hold it together to something else. There are 2 screws here. The threads on the neck of the bottle slide along the threads inside of the cap. This is a light bulb. The metal part on the light bulb are the threads. If you turn the light bulb clockwise, it tightens, and if you turn it counterclockwise, it loosens. And a fun fact is, another example of a screw is a nut and a bolt. The threads on the inside of the nut slide along the threads on the bolt. Fun fact: without screws, almost everything will be falling apart.
Alright, this is screws.